Okay, that's the coolest thing ever. Yeah.
All
Way
right,
to go
folks. Here we
live
are
right
once again.
then.
We're in another day of the
That I
lab.
would
We're really
just
we're having a good time. We haven't even gotten started yet. And today we have the privilege and honor of having Dave Zapata and Jack Quartz. But we're not going to introduce them yet.
Butcher.
I can't forget to first talk about the most important people in your life, the people that you get to see every single day, because we love you, we care about you. Drew Swirsky from the Elite Real Estate Group, Tyler Holloway from the PC United program, and yours truly, Eric Quadros from Massachusetts Coaching. And now I'll get to introduce the phone people because we got some great stories to tell. We got Jack Cords and Dave Z. Zappacosta, for those that can't pronounce it. First Bridge Insurance. Welcome to the lab, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to be
Thanks
here.
a lot.
Hey guys, so listen, one of the things that we do is, man, we love bringing business owners from all over the world, man. In the lab, we love to learn, achieve, and build because we learn from one another. And the thought is, we've got you guys here today. You guys have a very unique job that you love to do. So tell us a little bit about what you guys get to do in Bridge First Insurance every single day.
Go for it, Jack.
All right, I'll jump in. And yeah, so Bridge First Insurance, just to give you like some preference on that, we're an independent insurance agency, which is really just a fancy way to say that we're not tied to any one company in particular, right? Like, you've heard of a lot of insurance providers. You may not have heard of Bridge First Insurance. Well, we work with a lot of those like top companies like Safeco, Erie, Progressive. We represent them. We're not tied to any one carrier in particular. So huge competitive advantage for us there. And, what we do day in and day out is help people solve their insurance related problems. And we do that by just kind of trying to make the insurance world a little simpler for, the everyday person that's not doing it all the time and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Outstanding. So that's Jack's version. I would love to hear Dave's version.
I mean, just to kind of reiterate on some of that stuff, it's the way we got started. We were working for a big insurance company, and then we thought we could do it a little better and offer more options to people. And Bridge First Insurance, kind of a way to remember it is if you break down the acronym, it's BFI, and we just want to be your best friend in insurance.
That's pretty cool. I love that.
That's the name of the game. We just want to be able to help people, and it's a decision that everybody has to make. And if we can just be a consultant or a resource, that's the name of the game.
Man, I love that, man. The whole thing, like you say, and this is why we have the lab, because we want to know the story behind the story, right? So you guys were working for a big company that was just kind of like, a grab all, and you decided to say, you know what, there's some things that as individuals, as business owners, we can do to provide a better value for the people that we had the privilege and honor of working with. And here you guys are. So that's outstanding. And we really appreciate that. So now you guys already know that we're all, experiencing this very unique time of our lives we call COVID. We wish it never came to us from China. At least that's what people say. What are some of the things that you guys have experienced and are seeing during this time that and how have you adapted to continue to provide incredible value to your clientele?
That's a good question. I'll kind of roll with it for a little bit. I mean, one of the biggest things is obviously we have office space where there's, normally like 4 of us in an office together. So we had to adjust to moving that. But kind of one of the bigger topics or conversations that started coming in is our clients that call in, and we do everything from car insurance to insuring restaurants and other businesses. So kind of one of the big adjustments was the phone calls that we are having with people. It's, hey, maybe I can't necessarily take care of my car insurance bill, or, hey, my business has been closed down for 2 weeks, and being able to, or 2 months, adjusting towards those conversations has been something that's been kind of difficult because you have to be flexible and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think like one thing that we kind of like, for us, it was very fortunate, relatively easy to do business in a, more digital format, or like we're all kind of separate in different places. A lot of businesses like couldn't really make that transition quite as easily. And I think like very early on, like, Dave and I got together and we were like, hey, I think, coming from a place of compassion with a lot of our clients for the situation that they might be in individually, is going to go like a long way. And, you know, we'll figure out a lot of the other stuff on the other end. But right now, I think just like being empathetic to people's situation and all that kind of stuff is you know, people are really going to remember that hopefully years and years down the road. You know, they'll remember that time that, like, you know, Dave and Jack and Bridge First Insurance were doing everything they could to look out for them.
Hey, I gotta say something, man, before we even let Ty go into his question. It's like, you guys are very, very memorable. Like, I see you guys on social media, man, and it looks like I mean, you go way beyond, you know, the line of duty to do your job, right? So you obviously work for, you know, for a company that is growing, but you guys really do, like, you guys are humans, right? I see you guys, you're together, you spend a lot of time in moments in your life where, you know, that were important. You were there for each other professionally and personally. So I commend you on that, because that's part of branding. You can't just be out there throwing stuff at people and hoping that they, you know, that will stick. People have to see you from the human level. So I'll commend you guys on that, and keep that up. All right, so Ty, go ahead, man. I know you're eager to talk, so I'm done talking, at least for now.
I just want to say I love the best friends in insurance. I was going to ask you guys if you had a tagline, but you stole that question. I was going to suggest call us before you jump, but obviously best friends in insurance is way better. So, but I would like to hear a little bit more. You made the jump, right? And a lot of people, when they get, you know, they can think of a business idea, or they can think of, with their current company that they work for, maybe they have ideas, but they haven't been able to get those through maybe the corporate bureaucracy, right? And how did you transition from, hey, we can do this better and we can treat customers or clients better, whatever it was, to let's do this, let's make the jump and do it our own way in order to provide that value?
That's a good question. Actually, I had to introduce Jack in a presentation a little earlier this morning. I kind of talked about this. So basically, one of the main drivers was going back to that multiple options, in that if we were kind of looking at business and maybe between the two of us, we could, for round number, say we could get 100 referrals a month. And then we could offer 30% of those people. So 30 people bought insurance from us at, you know, the big insurance company. Well, all 100 of those people are buying insurance. So I just need a bigger net. So we needed a bigger net so that we could convert more of those referrals. And then instead of turning it over to maybe a call center in certain situations and stuff like that, we had to build the infrastructure to be the main point of contact. And, you know, and now we've hired some employees kind of in the back end and other outside sales people and stuff like that. So it was really kind of just from the idea of like, hey, we're kind of doing this pretty well, but we're not necessarily getting compensated, or we don't have all the products to fit everybody into maybe a box. And so we just kind of went and got a bigger net, sort of thing.
Yeah, and you know, the model existed and was there, and I think what we did is we didn't try to reinvent the wheel, and we kind of just followed the path that has been carved out. And I think, you know, we both knew we were really good insurance agents, and I think the part that the growing pains and the figuring out was kind of going from like, hey, I'm good at selling insurance, to, hey, I'm good at running an insurance business. And you know, I think that's probably like the better story over time of how we kind of grew into becoming, like, you know, real business owners, versus just like, hey, two guys that with laptops that were really good at, you know, selling insurance to people. So yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And that's one of the things that we love to talk about is systems and models, right? Oftentimes people can be good at being self-employed. They can be good at doing a particular job. Now, transitioning that into a business model that allows for consistent results is oftentimes statistically where people get stuck. We all know the, you know, first 5 years is when most businesses fail. And oftentimes they do that because they don't have the leverage and they don't have the models and systems. So you guys, how did you learn that? Did you teach yourself? Was it books, mentors, coaches? How did you guys get over that hump to be like, oh, okay, this is what the systems that we need to be really successful at taking care of our customers?
I don't know, Jack, you can go first on that one.
Yeah, it was a little bit of trial and error. I think in the very beginning, we kind of got away with just being good at selling insurance. We had a lot of existing partnerships and relationships. We knew how to kind of like sell policies and do that. But then, as we started to grow and we brought on our first producer, Alex, and then later bringing on Wade, it was kind of creating what is like the bridge first insurance experience like for a client, and what do we want to do that's a little bit different than everybody else. And started with like getting a good database and then building in like some basic automations and reminders and tasks to help kind of like get us to where we were kind of doing that like repeatable McDonald's process where, hey, you're going to get the same burger from Dave as you're going to get from me, as you're going to get from Wade and Alex, and kind of just like developing those processes. And then just honestly, I think trial and error over time to kind of develop that into like, hey, we have a really good process from initially quoting somebody to selling them a policy to onboarding them as a client, and kind of going from there.
I think some of the other things we might have leveraged a little bit is we've always kind of been a little technology forward facing. So, our first office was a virtual office with a nice PO box, and that, that's what we were using as brick and mortar. And we were using DocuSign and eFax and all these other ways to make sure we weren't like needed room and paper and all these other things. It was like, hey, if we can run it from a couple of laptops, then that's an efficient way to get a business off the ground with limited overhead.
That speaks like volumes of what I love to hear, and what I teach as a coach is you can see further by standing on the shoulders of others. And you guys have just followed a model. I think that's really dope. I talk to you guys more. We kind of have the same office over here. And one thing in talking to you guys separately was what I found about both of you is the hustle, right? The grind, or the fact that you'll get out in the trenches. And I remember when I first met Jack, he was like, yeah, man, I just go out and knock on doors, right? And then you and I were talking and you were like, yeah, man, we'd hit the streets. And I was like, man, they got the hustle. Let me ask you this, man. And this is a really tough question. If you can't answer it, I get it. Why? Why hit the streets? Why knock on those doors? What makes you guys different, man? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. And I remember when Dave and I like very first, started the agency, and we had both like just quit our jobs. We were both making like a lot of money there. We were making decent money there. And we both had quit our jobs, and we were standing in our apartment, and a friend of ours who also worked there, who didn't know that we had quit yet. He was like, we were like, yeah, man, we quit today. We're starting an agency. And he was like, what are you doing? Like what? And then like, he's like, where are you going to run it out of? And we're like, probably this apartment at first. And he was like, I mean, he literally kind of started laughing in our faces. And it's funny, but like, I think just that, just situations like that, or like people that didn't think that you were going to make it. And then just, honestly, like I remember that day when I walked out of my office, and like I basically had this like panic attack of like, man, I'm going to make it or I'm not. And I need to make sure that I make it, And,
you did a Jerry Maguire. Who's coming with me? Who's coming with me?
Who's coming with me, man? I think just that perseverance of like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen. And if that means that, I need to sit here and make 100 phone calls that first week and, call every person I ever met, that's what we'll do. And, I feel like I'm just willing to, like, marketing wise, like I'm willing to try anything that sounds good at least one time. In fact, sometimes Dave's got to like reel me in. He's like, dude, that is a crazy idea. Like that one's not going to work. So we kind of balance each other pretty well there. But yeah, I think just honestly, sometimes a little bit of fear is a good thing.
and competition. There's also no other option when you jump ship, and there's only one way, and that is these are the activities you got to do.
Yep.
You got to go do them.
I tell you what, man, I used to pride myself on being first in the office. Like I was here early because I want to, they say first person in, and you guys beat me here every day, man, before COVID, man. I'd pull up and see you at the window and be like, damn, they beat me here again. So I know you guys hustle. When that door is shut and I don't see that door open except maybe a bathroom break until you guys are done.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to let you guys know that I can appreciate that, man. And that's pretty, that says a lot.
Thanks.
Well, we do have a good long withstanding successful company with blueprints and models that's been around forever that we get to steal some of the ideas from and that kind of thing. Obviously, I'm talking about KW. We partner with Keller Williams, and although it's obviously different industries, it's the similarities are in practically everything we do. You just literally sub the word real estate and insurance, and we get a lot of good models and blueprints and training and ideas and all that kind of stuff.
You can always get your real estate license and leverage the people that want to buy houses to Drew, since he sits right there, and then he can send you some live insurance stuff for you guys. I'm just saying. It's a collaborative way of ecosystems that we can create.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid that I might like it too much,
Hey, Dave, I don't want to let this chance get away. So I love creativity in business and in marketing. However, I would love to hear the craziest marketing idea that Jack came up with that you're willing to share on Facebook. Anything particular? Jack, you can jump in too if Dave doesn't have anything.
I can't think of a perfect example, but Jack on his phone is really good at like Photoshop and putting people's faces from one picture onto like celebrities and stuff. And just some of those, you're just like, I really like the idea. I don't know what point we're getting across here. This just picture you made that you just want to throw up some social media
right there.
See if we can get some likes. So
it does sound like Eric. Ty, what are you doing? How does that help us? And is it going to get us sued? I don't know, but it sounded like a good idea.
Drew does it all the time. So they're really creative with the foam, and I don't even know how they come up with half of the stuff they do, but it's really
I think
cool.
He might be talking about something like this one right
here. You have to post that in the business lab.
The Dave Tiger King. And what's funny too is like I'll post things directly to the business page, and I'll just get a text from Dave, and he's like, "You posted something crazy, didn't you?" Because I'm getting all kinds of texts from people.
Hey, so you know what? The whole point is actually to draw interaction, right? So I mean, as long as it's a certain level of people like that. This is something that we talk about often, right? We have to, especially in today's day and age, approach people from a human level, and we all need laughter. We all need professionalism. We all need a conversation that brings us closer to to feeling loved and appreciated. So I think that I actually think is genius to look at things from different perspectives, right? And from time to time, create opportunities for people to laugh about something that will otherwise be too serious. So I say, in measure, I think all those different approaches can create conversation. So that's something that we could probably encourage you guys to continue to do.
Did you see Jack's face? I swear he just sent a text to Dave that was like, "See, I told you so."
No text message.
Yeah, and
I told you I'm posting the next one now too. I will tell you, kind of going back to that, we've had people come onto like a Yelp page and call us and like, "Why did you call us? You just found us," and they're like, "You have pictures of yourself." Like I knew that who I was going to talk to, because it was just personal pictures. It was pictures of me and Jack just like doing kind of stupid stuff, and it's like that's a person I'm going to get to talk to.
Exactly.
And that's a big thing.
Absolutely. So Drew, where you at, man? Drew's creating a rapid fire questions, man. I see him over there. He's ready to shoot the range. Go ahead, Ty.
I'll throw another one in.
Yeah, go.
You guys mentioned making that jump, and I think Jack, it was you that said, "I don't have a choice. I got to be successful in this." So I would love to hear. Eric mentioned earlier your very supportive spouse or spouses, right? So how has family or I'm giving you a chance to brag on your spouses about how much they've supported you and all of that stuff. So how important has that been in starting a business where with that additional stress and everything going on, leaving the kind of safer job to go the entrepreneur route? What you got for us?
Yeah, I got married in 2017, and yeah, Caitlin, it's one of those things where if you go to the office and then you don't come home from the office until 6:30, but then you got to disappear into somewhere else in the house, and like it just has to be done because the work doesn't get done unless you're the one to do it. And just kind of having that understanding, it takes a whole nother burden off of your shoulders and stuff like that. So it's fantastic. And then it's always to have a great cheerleader and like someone that you can vent to and be like, look, I'm gonna say some stuff, you might not know what it means, but just agree with me at the end because I need to let off some steam.
What does she do for a living?
So my wife is actually in real estate. So
Look at that. So I guess Drew and I getting referrals. All right.
Yeah.
So
Don't leave yet, Drew. Don't leave yet.
she is with KW, is she?
So she joined a team. This was on March 1st, but
Okay.
she joined a team, maybe not at KW.
Oh, we might have to end this call right now.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
know.
so-
I know. I understand.
Part of a larger overall recruitment process, Eric, of course.
Was
Infiltrate, and
Drew, we need to work on that. All right, so Jack, your turn.
yeah. Well, honestly, I'll say when we started, I was 25 years old. I had a cell phone bill and maybe like a car payment at the time. And, I'd been saving every dollar kind of building up to that moment. So, I think some people, their entrepreneurial leap is a little bit more than the one that I had to take. I mean, it was certainly a major risk. I mean, I was doing well at a position where I was making, decent money. And I saw that the potential to, take 2 steps back for 3 steps forward was certainly there. But yeah, I mean, Leah, who is my fiance, we were scheduled to get married on July 11th. Now October 30th. She's great too, and super supportive of everything we do, kind of like David mentioned, and
What does she do?
help me in so many ways, and I meditate and I do some yoga and stuff now, and I can tell you, there's days where I'm so stressed out, and kind of like Dave mentioned, just kind of having that cheerleader and that support structure, and without a doubt, she has been such a major help in all facets of my life, from just being generally healthier and being able to be the best version of myself.
Awesome.
She's my best partner, and Dave is not too far behind. So
Is she in real estate too?
She's sitting right there, isn't she?
No.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, but actually you didn't tell us what does she do for a living? Is she a nurse, or is she in real estate too?
She is a English teacher at South Lakes High School. So
Very cool.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Does she
Underpaid
proofread
and
your stuff?
underappreciated.
Absolutely. What's up?
Does she proofread your stuff?
Yeah. Every now and then she'll be like, what's that tight, like, she's like, I need to start PR proofreading all your stuff before you send it out. And I tell her, hey, it's candid stuff here, so every now and then there may be a grammatical error or something, but yeah, she's definitely making sure that we do.
Well, man, shout out to high school teachers, man, everywhere.
She's
They got
definitely
it.
listening
They got
right
it rough,
now,
man.
too.
All teachers, man. They're
Yeah,
on
but
level.
high school teachers got to deal with kids like me from back in the day, man. And so I feel like for a high school teacher, every day they wake up and say, "Hold my beer," because they have no idea what's coming, right? So shout out to them.
I think I had that teacher.
So anyway, sorry about that.
No, it's so good, man. I don't think my teachers knew I was even there because I couldn't speak English when I went to high school. So we're
Nothing's changed.
nothing's changed, right? I'm still in the process. That's
Yeah.
what my wife tells me all the time. I hope she's not listening to this.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, it's so good. It's so good, guys. This is awesome. And now we're in a part of the lab right now where we dive into a very important part. We consider a very important part of our lab interview, and this is the rapid fire. The rapid fire requires the best in you to answer those questions as fast as possible. So it's going to be, Dave and then Jack, and Drew's going to ask this question. So Dave, you answer, and Jack, you follow. Got it? We good?
All right.
All right, Drew.
All right, here we go. Get ready. I apologize. Who wins in a fight, Flo or Jake from State Farm?
Jake.
Flo.
Oh, two separate answers.
Oh.
Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Who wins in a fight, Alex or Wade?
Alex.
Wade.
We're all rooting for Wade, but Alex.
Oh man, craziest thing someone's asked you guys to try to insure?
I had a
Guard for dispensaries in DC.
a
That's
school
not
bus
crazy.
being converted into an RV.
A who?
A school bus being converted into an RV.
Holy crap!
That's
That was
pretty
like
cool,
a week
though.
ago, by the way.
That's pretty cool. I've seen it. I've seen them that stuff on Instagram and Pinterest, man. Guys are doing some really cool work with school buses.
Yeah, I didn't know men had Pinterest accounts, but that's okay.
I
On
do.
to the next one. Favorite quarantine meal so far?
I mean, I've just eaten so much pizza. But I made some zucchini enchiladas the other day that were.
Oh, that sounds good. Jack?
I worked at Red Lobster for 7.5 years, and Leah had never had it. I think a couple of Cheddar Bay biscuits with an ultimate feast, a decade later was every bit as good as it was back then.
Man.
Shout out to the Red Lobster alum. I got my grind on in there too, brother. We used to sneak those biscuits. Okay, sorry, I'm all off track.
It's so good. It's so good, man. You're good.
The Red
He
Lobster
said
threw us in the
biscuits.
loop.
Yeah, man. Yeah, those
I was supposed to learn something, and I'm actually hungry now. I'm gonna have to go to Red Lobster and order something.
Yeah, man. When I was trying to stop cussing, man, every time instead of saying cuss words, I would say Cheddar Bay biscuits. That's how good they are. All right. So, what's the one snack food you've eaten the most since you've been stuck in the house?
Salt and vinegar chips.
Oh yeah.
Leah, this goes back to all this chips and hummus. There is never in short supply around here. I'll tell you that much.
Last show you binge watched?
Ooh,
I'm still binging The Property Brothers right now. I'm like, so I've been sucked into that to just like the nth degree.
Drew, you recommended The Hunters. I think that was probably the last one that I checked out.
Well, I haven't seen that. I gotta watch that.
That was a good one. Good one. Favorite movie of all time?
Gladiator.
Oh yes.
Ooh, that is a good one. I've always
I
been
like that one.
a fan. I like Troy, but if we want to go different genre, I probably Top Gun is a good one.
Oh yes, it's coming out here so soon. I can't wait. My son's name is Maverick. So I can't
Eric,
wait,
Eric named his son after that guy, man.
Dude, I had
His
tears.
son's name is
Listen,
Maverick.
I had tears in my eyes. I promise you. Because that was one of the first movies that I watched in English that I didn't understand, but I just knew the guy was cool and I liked the name. So when I said one of my sons was going to be Maverick. So when I heard that Maverick was going to come out, oh my God, I had tears in my eyes, man. Imagine that. A kid didn't even speak English, and all of a sudden I had a son and I was able to name him, and now my son is going to be able to watch it. Dude, that was so cool. But all right, it's not enough about me. It's about
That's
you
my
guys.
go-to karaoke song, in case you're wondering too.
You've lost that love and feeling.
Yeah,
there we
let's
go.
hear a little bit of it then.
Oh yeah, Dave, let's
Yeah,
go,
there you go.
man.
Oh,
Yeah, you
man.
can't bring that up and not sing it.
I can't hit my knees at the right time.
Last book you read?
Jim Cramer. What is it? Get Rich Slowly, I think.
Write that down.
Atomic Habits.
Oh, that's
Oh
a good
yeah.
one.
For those watching at home, write those books down. They're both really, really good. All right. So what's the pro sport you miss the most, Dave?
I miss March Madness, man. That was maybe because of some extracurriculars that.
Yeah, a little money exchange in hands. Jack?
Yeah, I definitely miss baseball right now. And I was saying I thought that they were going to kind of bring back some of the replacements, and maybe Dave would get a chance to throw some heat like we did back in the day.
He's got pitcher's hair right now, that's for sure.
Do have some big league hair.
Looking like Randy Johnson up in here.
Oh, I see a meme with your face on Randy Johnson's body coming in the
It's
near
happening.
future.
It's happening.
Yeah,
It's already in the process here.
with the bird exploding, right, Jack?
The video.
Okay, so here at the lab, we pride ourselves on our football teams and who we support. And so, who is your favorite football team, Dave?
I'm from Baltimore, so I'm a Ravens fan.
Not terrible.
My
Jack?
family's all from Cleveland, so I'm a Browns fan. And yeah,
we will accept those answers, and you are now welcome to the lab as long as it's not the Dallas Cowboys. We accept that.
I love it. Well, I stopped going to the games with Dave because I was sick of going to Baltimore to get booed the whole time. And then watch the Browns get creamed. He was like, "Hey man, you want to go to the game?" I'm like, "I don't want to go with you anymore."
It was the one time we were walking and you had some Browns jersey on, and literally a guy started yelling at you, and his other friend was like, "It's just a Browns jersey. Let him go." Like, didn't even want to heckle him.
Yeah.
Insurance guy gets killed in Baltimore, film at 11, right? Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. All right, guys. Well, thank you for participating in the rapid fire, man. I appreciate you both.
All right,
Absolutely.
fellas. So now we're in that part of the interview when we go and basically let our audience know where to find you. So if you guys could share that, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, our website is just www.bridgefirstinsurance.com. Our emails are dave@bridgefirstinsurance.com, jack@bridgefirstinsurance.com. And then our office line is 571-249-3857. And then we also have a main email address at info@bridgefirstinsurance. So any of those ways, you will definitely get a hold of us for sure.
And
All right, first. Okay, go ahead.
if you Google Dave Zappacosta, you can pull up all his old Virginia Tech baseball stats too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, folks, you heard it here first at the lab. And that's it. That's a wrap for today. So today, on behalf of Drew Swirsky from the Elite Real Estate Group, Tyler Holloway, and Eric Quadros from Mass Business Coaching, I say to you guys, thank you for being with us today. You know that now if you want to go anywhere, make something happen, stay alive, and be covered the way you need to be covered, you need to go to Bridge First Insurance. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Dave, for being here with us. We appreciate you. We wish you from the lab continued success.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Hey guys,
All right,
thanks
guys.
so much. Hey, we appreciate
know.
you having us.
You're
Awesome.
a member of the lab, man. You're
Feel
officially,
like a celebrity now.
you are, man. You guys are celebrities, man. Thank
Still
you.
alive. Still
Thank
alive.
you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you
Terry.
guys.
Of course.